just got our hands on a brand new MMO with a Tarisland, and today, as you all know, I do love my crafting, so today I'm going to be breaking down everything you need to know about the profession, the crafting, and how to get your hands on some of the best stuff that you can get right now in the game through the profession. But before we hop into it, if you find the video helpful at all, make sure to thumbs up, subscribe, hit all the bells, and let's jump into this, and let's start making some stuff. So let's go ahead and start off here, and we need to get a couple things out of the way here for you, which is, of course, the main way you're going to go ahead and unlock the crafting in the profession is mainly by playing through the main story. So once you actually make far enough to make it to the main hub of Silver Lit, that is where we can start taking on the classes. But let's go ahead and break down the classes themselves here, and of course, we have ourselves a few to look at here. So to start off, we have our Forger, which is going to be our main for making armor, helmets, gauntlets, as well as tools, which is something that is very much in handy, especially in later part of the game, and any more so if you are taking part in gathering. And then we have jewelry. This is, of course, self-explanatory. You're going to be making necklaces, you're going to be making rings, and accessories as well. And then we have Tailor. Tailor is actually kind of nice because just like how Forger can make crafting material for farming up items, you're going to need faith to hold all that stuff. And, of course, they can go ahead and make bags. And, of course, if you have played like WoW, you will know how much bags are a needed item, especially if you need more inventory space. But nonetheless, you can go ahead and make you some fabric equipment here with armor, as well as bags themselves. And then we have Alchemy, which is, of course, as you probably gather, it makes potions and healing items and whatnot. And these are our main professions. Don't get me wrong, there are other ones that is technically a separate thing because it falls more into the gathering with classes such as fishing. And of course, I will have a video all about that coming up here soon, so make sure to subscribe so you don't miss that. But nonetheless, you might be noticing something from the menu here, which is, of course, the 25% that you will see on each of the teacher or profession. And of course, this represents how many people on the storyboard that you're playing on and how they are picking their profession. So this might be different for you depending on what storyboard you own, as well as if you're coming in a little bit later. But just know, Elite right now, the game literally just came out. The amount of people, it pretty much across the board is fairly even. So if you're someone who's going to be getting into this stuff to make some money, and you playing it a little bit after the fact, and you see one class having way more people than others, maybe you shouldn't be picking at that class without you are doing it for your own needs or your friend need. But if you're for money, make sure you keep an eye at whatever the percentage is for you. So let's go ahead and say you know what class or profession you want to join here. You can go ahead and hit learn more. And from here, we will go ahead and we will get ourselves a marker on the map showing up where we need to go for this. And of course, in this case, we need to go ahead and head to the hub area of Silver Lit. So let's go ahead and just teleport here. And of course, once you actually make your way to the city itself, from the main teleporter, we're going to go ahead and just run over here to the right. And we will go ahead and find our professionals that will go ahead and teach us how to make stuff down here at the bottom. And of course, each symbol on our head pretty much represent what the class or what profession they can actually teach you. Like I said, we have fishing. We have also, of course, some hair cutting stuff. So just know there is more professions than what they're giving you right out of the gate. But nonetheless, find the teacher you want to talk to. And of course, by talking to them, you will go ahead and get the ability to join and then start making stuff. So when it comes to actually making the items themselves, if you're playing on PC, you can go ahead and just hit in. Or you can go ahead and come down here right next to my camera. I'm a little covering up a little bit. But nonetheless, is a button that have a hammer and a saw on it. So we're going to go ahead and hit that. And that's going to go ahead and bring up your profession here. Just know, at the time of the video anyway, professions are all pretty much one per character. So if you do want to learn all the profession, just know you are going to have to make separate accounts. And if you still want to change to another profession at a later date on the same character, you can do that by talking to one of the other teachers and choosing, of course, whatever it is. And you will see an option here where you can, of course, move from, in my case, forgery to alchemy by paying a 200 silver here. And, of course, if you decide to move, just know there is a cooldown timer before you can move again. So, to keep that in mind, which, as you can see, why most people will just make multiple characters. But there is a few drawbacks to that, which we will get to momentarily. But nonetheless, once you have your profession, let's go ahead and give a look over all crafting recipes. So right out the gate here, we got a couple things to look at here. So let's just go ahead and go through each of these here from top to bottom. We have, of course, trade. This will be, of course, any items that you make. You can go ahead and from that menu, sell it on the player market. And, of course, the game itself will go ahead and pretty much give you a baseline of what stuff is going for. You can, of course, bring stuff up and down as you see fit. But nonetheless, it's really nice that you can go ahead and just put stuff on the auction house from that menu. And then we have ourselves our mail. This is kind of self-explanatory, but just know any item you sell on the market, your payment will be coming in your mail. So make sure to be checking that so you can only have 100 mail at any given time. And then we have another menu here. This is right here, as you can see, 120 out of 2,500. This is, of course, your level. So as you make different things, you will slowly gain levels here, or I should say affiliate point. And of course, as they get higher and higher, that is how you're going to figure out what you can and cannot make. So keep that in mind. And then we have also our energy level, because sadly, crafting is a energy game here. And when it comes to that, you do get a 1 energy back every 15 minutes, with, of course, you capping out at a 300. So keep that in mind, since crafting and gathering does take up your energy here. And of course, you can buy potions and stuff to give you all your energy back. But just know you do have a finite of this throughout every single day. So keep that in mind here. And then we have ourselves our silver coin. This is going to be a currency we will have to pay, as well as energy to actually make and gather. So from here, let's go ahead and break down our menu in general here. So when it comes to, in my case, being a forger, we have our finite materials here with, of course, my copper ingot. The thing is about it, it will require a copper ore, and we will discuss how to get the item in a moment. But you will also see here how much silver you're going to take, as well as how much energy. And of course, if you have multiple material, you can go ahead and multiply it here, so you can do a big batch in one go. But you will also notice here, we do have some things with lock on it. These are pretty much, well, like the, I get slowing down progression, or maybe trying to make it, well, you can't what to quote unquote in game for your crafting right out the gate, because these are going to be tied to not only what level, because once you click on one of these, you will go ahead and see what item it requires, as well as what level you need to be. In the case of this, I need to be a level 1200. I'm only 120 right now, so I'm not able to craft it. As well as you can see here, by this being unlocked in 10 days. And I am on day 2, as it stays right here. This is, of course, meaning I'm going to have to wait 10 days before the item become craftable. So just know this is, of course, tied to when you make your account and your character, and not tied to how long the store will been up. So keep that in mind. Going into this, if you come into this and the game been out for like a year, you still will be starting at day 1. Well, something changed between now and then. So keep that in mind when it comes to this. But nonetheless, we also have a few other one here. We have a level 20 equipment, 30 equipment, 40 equipment. So when it comes to this is actually going to require you to get a level on your character. So in my case, I am level 24 right now. So I have the ability to make level 20 equipment. And once I hit level 30, I will go ahead and unlock these as well. So when it comes to this, we can go ahead and see not only the battle power of this item, but we once again have what we need, as well as how much silver and how much energy. So to keep that in mind, the higher tiers you make, the more energy and the more money it's going to consume. So make sure you have that all ready and all ready to go right along with the time unlock. And then from here, we got ourselves, of course, any more item down here, such as the tools and whatnot. And pretty much same will apply. We got to wait X amount of day and have to be X amount of level with X amount of item. And from here, let's go ahead and get into specializing. This is where mainly the big discussion come in about, like, kind of how it's a pain of to actually level this type of stuff on one character. Or maybe a reason why you want to do it on multiple characters. Because we do have this in specialty for each of the crafting. As you can see here, when we start this off, we have the ability to pick one of 3 tiers. We have, of course, one here being, of course, helping you gather more stuff. We have other ones here that will make it where you don't have to spend as much energy to harvest. As well as, of course, another one that will allow it to make stuff that don't require as much stuff. So once you go ahead and pick whatever tickle your fancy for any given point, and we go ahead and head into it, we will get a few options here. So each of these will have 3 different tiers, and each of these tiers will have a 4 ability tied to it. And of course, you can go ahead and put that into whichever one of these that tickle your fancy or you want to use, and you can see exactly what I do over here. And of course, if you ever want to reset that, you can do so by paying 2,000 silver, and it will go ahead and also require another currency here when it comes to actually upgrading or putting a point into any of these stats. And that is, of course, our hollow advancement specializing a point. And when it comes to actually getting your hands on this, there are a few ways to do that. We have technically 3 tiers here, starting off from the bell minimum into silver, into, I get what will be counted, I get gold technically here. But when it comes to actually getting the point, there is a finite way to get these. And of course, by clicking on any of these pluses, you can go ahead and see what it's requiring. As you can see here, when it comes to elite, what would be, I get bronze, will require you to, of course, get crafting skill to 500, for the city up to 20%, and pretty much each of these will require you to do a specific activity. And the thing to keep in mind here, this is character bound, not account bound. So if you make you the 5 crafting characters, you are going to have to do all these multiple times on each of your character to get all the points unlocked, so you can go ahead and get the best stuff in the game when it comes to helping out crafters inside of a Tairland. So keep that in mind here if you do decide to go that route and you don't want to spend the money or deal with the time restriction when it comes to changing up your profession. So now let's go ahead and talk about how to get some of the items elite starting off here with your profession. So in the case of mine being making armor, I need to go ahead and get my hands on copper. If you're doing other classes, you might have to get your hands on material such as like skin or fabric. And of course, once you go ahead and take on one of the profession, you will get a side mission that will pretty much teach you the way of finding wherever that item might spawn. And in the case for mine, we do have a whole bunch of the mining materials popping up down here next to the dock area. And of course, you want to go ahead and notice this since now you will start seeing this little, I get gold sparkling thing, in my case, popping up here. And there is one area you can find this spread out all over the map, but right now it pretty much is easy or elite for forging to set in that one area and just run up to each of these and hit collect and go ahead and gather this. The respawn time on these are pretty quick, and by the time you go ahead and you gather all that all around here, it will come like that. So just know, depending on what class or profession you're doing, that might change a little bit here and there, but nonetheless, you will now be able to gather the item you are needing for this. But once again, when it comes to this, just keep in mind is just like, of course, making stuff, this is going to take energy here. So as you can see here, I am setting at 54. But if I go ahead and gather this here, you will also see over here on the left that it will say I got, in my case, 2 copper ore, and I have used 4 of my energy level, which leave me with 50. So keep that in mind. The same energy you use for crafting, you will also use for gathering. So make sure you are using it wisely, at least if you don't want to go ahead and deal with buying potions or having to spend time waiting around, so you can go ahead and get your energy back. But now that you have your hands on material you will need, let's go ahead and bring up our crafting tab again. And from here, let's just go ahead and hit craft, and it will go ahead and make the item for you. As of now, at least at lower level, there don't seem to be any fail state at all. I'm not 100% sure that will change later on, but as of now, it does seem like whatever you make, you are guaranteed to make, which is pretty awesome, at least for now anyway. We'll see if that changes later down the line or not. And just like that, that is everything you need to know when it comes to crafting in Tairland. And of course, if you do want to check out that game, it is available right now, 100% for free over on PC as well as iOS and Android. Just know, if you do decide to pick this up, you can go ahead, use the link below. It's just a link, no affiliate, nothing of that sort. And of course, you do have to play that through the own launcher. But nonetheless, hopefully you have found this helpful in one way or another. And if so, be sure to do thumbs up, subscribe, hit all the bells so you don't miss out on any more MMO live server game guide news and pretty much everything in between. And I do want to give a giant shout out to everybody that is also supporting over on twitch.tv/TroyMaconn, where I stream every single night starting around 8 p.m. Central. And of course, everyone that hit that wonderful join button here on YouTube to become a member, or maybe Patreon more your style, hitting up patreon.com/Maconn. Link to all that below. Thank you, my dudes. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and do it for me. And I will see you in the comments.